start converting the HTML into Laravel template. So this is the HTML template which we are going to convert. Let me just open it. So this is the HTML template. You can see it's multi-page. It starts from home, about, service, and contact. Now let me just scroll this and show you what actually we have here. You can see the hover effects and the carousel for the testimonial. And I have downloaded this from the free themes. I'll leave the link in the description, and this theme can also be found in this link, html.design. I'll leave this link also in the description. Now, without wasting any time, let's get started. Now the very first thing, we need to open the command prompt cmd, and we need to know the location where we are going to store our Laravel project. It's in the htdocs. Let's change directory. It's XAMPP, change directory, htdocs, and we need to create Laravel project. For that we need to create the we need to copy this code and pass it. I'm telling the composer to create a project. The project is of Laravel, and the name is going to be UI monk. Click enter. It will take some time. By the time, let me just open the HTML in the Visual Studio Code, and let's separate the index page as three different sections. Starting, the first one is header, then the main content, then the footer. I believe the footer is going to be same for all. You can see from get in touch, and this is services, get in touch, and then the contact us, the get in touch. So here this is footer, and then the menu is the header, and in between content is the HTML. Cool. Now let's wait till the Laravel is being downloaded and placed into our htdocs. Alright, now we can open our Laravel project. cd, type L, your amount is the name, and if you type code and dot and click enter, this project will be loaded in the Visual Studio Code. Close. So it got loaded. Now we need to understand. So if I type php artisan serve, and if you see, once the server gets run, you will see a welcome page. So this welcome page, I'll show you from where it is coming. It's loading. It is taking some time. Let's wait till it gets loaded. My PC went for an update, so after the update, it has become very slow. Yeah, this is the welcome screen. Now if you see on the resources, you'll see views, and in the welcome.php, this is the actual page where you see this whole section is coming from this welcome.build.php. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply delete all and paste our static HTML here. Select all, delete it, save it. Now let me open. I'm pressing Ctrl O, and let me get into the desktop. It's where our HTML file is, and in the index.html, select all and just paste it. And if you save this, and if your server is still running, and if you refresh it, you will see the HTML content. Now what we need to do is we have to link our CSS, JS and images. So let me just show it. Server is still running. Now without wasting time, sorry for that, let's just copy this and get into our htdoc UI monk. It's and here you have to find the public and create a folder called assets, assets, and just paste all your HTML assets inside the assets folder. Once you've done that, yes, this is how it looks right now without CSS and JS and images. Now we have to link those, so press alt, so you'll get some multiple cursor. In that case you can type, you see it's curly braces and ASSET and round bracket, single quotes, and again use press alt and use the single quotes, close round bracket and close curly braces. The same way we have to do for scripts. Pressing alt for to have multiple cursor, paste it, and in the end again single quotes, close round bracket and close curly braces. Now for this is same for images as well. Let me just copy this and control F img. It's an HTML tag. Now just copy this till here, control H, refresh. Now select this portion, and as we did, we are going to close it, single quotes, round bracket, curly braces. And that is true for JPG as well. In that case, if it has JPEG, cool. Now the only problem is our images, JavaScript and CSS are inside assets folder, so that's what I missed. Now if I refresh this, now it's linked properly. You should see the working HTML file, just the index file. You can see CSS is working as you see as I hover, and the cursor is also working. Cool. Now we need to separate these header, footer and main content in the folder called layouts. In the resources or in the views, let me create a folder called layouts, and inside the layouts we would have header dot blade dot php, and we would have footer dot blade dot php, and then main dot blade dot php. Now let me find the header. It starts till here, and you should see it ends here. Cut this and paste it inside header. The same way, find the footer section. You have to find the footer tag from where it starts. I think this is it. Get in touch and paste it in footer. Now in the main you have to link the header and footer, so include, so to get the access of header, it's inside layouts dot header. The same way for footer, and you have to create a password like thing here, like if we type yield, and here you should have main container. Now you have to understand one thing. So we are going to create another file in the views. I'm going to name it as index.blade.php, and I'm going to link this index file with our main file. It extends the layout folder, then we have main, and since it is linked, it has access to the header and the footer, and to modify the content in between we have to do we have to replace it with section, and this is the start of section and end section. If I type something hello and hello you, I am Monk, so there would be header, there would be footer, so in between the header and footer you will see this content. So if I now, if you see, it is loading the welcome page, but let me delete the welcome. Oh no, let that be welcome page because we need the inner content. We'll just link that file to index. Now what do I mean by that? Let's get into the web.php. So when there is a call for home page, just open the index page. Now if I refresh this, if the server is still running, you will see header is there, footer is there, and in between content has been changed. So in between content, it acts as a placeholder for this yield. So let me paste the inner content of the welcome, and now you can delete this welcome because you don't need this. So you'll see the inner content will be populated perfectly. The same way, if you need to create the about us page, you just have to do the same thing. Just duplicate this index, so if it allows, or you can do one more thing, just make a new file and about.blade.php. So again you need to extend the main as we did for the index. You have to extend the main and you have to fill the placeholder, and it's going to be a direct end section, and you can type anything, but let me just give you it's about. So let me get into web.php. So if there is a call for the about, just open the about page. So if there's a call for about, just open the about page. You can see it's about. Now the same thing what we have done for the home page, you have to do it for the about us. What we have done, it's very straightforward. Now you just need to remove the header and footer, and in between you would find the content, and that content will be your about section. Just face this, and I hope, yes, we have an image. We have to link that image as well as we did for the CSS and JS. We have to do this for the about page as well. I know it's taking time, but you have to understand from the fundamental. Now about would work. You can see there is one image. Now this time services, control A. Now create a new file, services.blade.php. Just paste this content. Again we have to open the services page. We have to find the section which is not header and which is not footer, and in between we have to place the services. Yes, again we have images, control F, img. Yeah, we have 3. Let me just repeat it all at once, control H, paste this, and in the png, control H, single quotes close, round bracket close, curly braces close. Now again we have to create route. So when there is a call for services in the URL, open the service page. Cool. Again finally contact. Wait. Now again the same process, contact.blade.php. Let me just open contact, except the header and footer. Take the content, and here I think it's contact, so we have to fill it. We have to extend the layout main, and we have to close the section, which is at the rate end section. If there is no image, I think this page has no image. Let's get into web.php. When there's a call for contact in the URL, just open contact page. So let's call the contact. Cool. Now we just have to modify the header.php, and it's just going to be index about services, I believe, or services. I think services, not service, then contact. Now if you refresh this, don't forget your logo would also have a link of home page. Let me just refresh again. I hope I have not missed anything. Let me just compare with the, yeah, it's loading fine. Now home. Okay, actually it's not index, it's just slash for index. The web.php, you see, this is considered as home page. So this is our index page. If I click home, again if I click home on our server, you can see this is server. This is common for both HTML page as well as for our Laravel template. You can see the colors is also working. The hover is from CSS, and then let me just get into the contact of about page. So it's generally taking some time, but still it works. You can see. Let's just, for the HTML, let me get into about. Let me compare it. You can see there is no much change. I think we have removed our div. That could be a problem, but it's easy fix. We can do that. In the services, again in the services, we have some services grid, and then we have contact. Let me see what we have actually mixed the header. Okay, you can see this hero has a closing div, which we have missed it. So you can see this closing div. So now you would see the difference. The white section comes up as we see in the HTML. You can see there is no much change. So I believe the scope of this video is done. Let's meet you in the next HTML to Laravel conversion.